Andrew Schulz win on Ryan Clark's podcast earlier today to confront him, and based on a reaction from social media in the comments, the interaction didn't quite go in Ryan Clark's favor. Their beef initially started when Andrew Schulz had on Ishing gigs and they were talking about black girlfriends, and Andrew Schulz made a joke that a lot of people were mad about. Wait, what is the black girlfriend effect? This is blowout the other culture, yeah. So you'll see a guy who's had a black girlfriend, all of a sudden he's got buzz cut like shape up like that. They shave their hair cause they start losing it cause it's so stressed around this black girl complaining about __. That's why they got to shave their hair. Nah bro, white guys with black girlfriends, they grow a beard because there's more cushion when they get slapped. The __. That's hilarious. This caused a lot of drama, man. The two co-host shits and gigs. Those two dudes who's from the UK, their audience is predominantly black women or women in general, so they damn near lost their entire podcasting career. They had to come on the internet and beg and grable for forgiveness. Andrew Schulz, his audience isn't black women, so he could care less what they think. So Andrew Schulz just went in harder now. Here's the thing, I heard a lot of take and think pieces on this. My particular take is I can't tell the offended party what to be offended by, so if black women are offended by this, then they have every right to be, just because I'm not offended, just because I think that Andrew Schulz is a comedian. I've been watching Andrew Schulz long enough to where I recognize his humor, and also too, I don't think Andrew Schulz truly believes this. I don't think Andrew Schulz is a racist by no stretch, but that's me. If black women are offended, they have every right to be offended. So Ryan Clark, you know, particularly he did an episode on Andrew Schulz, now not his regular episode though, right? He brought in his co-host and he did a 20 minutes soliloquy by himself talking about Andrew Schulz, and here's what he had to say regarding Andrew Schulz's comments with shits and gigs. And the other piece of it is something that I've learned, and I learned it from black women, is people feel so comfortable disrespecting them because we don't respect them publicly, right? White people for so long have used the excuse, why can't I say the N-word when you say that to yourselves, or call yourself that, or use that in your music, which is __, right? Or white people have said if you're using the B word, or they say if you're using the B word, why can't I call him that? That's __, as well, right? That's excuses to be certain things and be disrespectful when you shouldn't be. So when you're sitting across from Andrew Schulz and he's talking about a spear, an experience that he can't understand because his wife is not black, so whoever is Andrew Schulz's black friend, Charlemagne, you're his black friend, sit him down, talk to him, tell him what the black woman experience truly is, cause he ain't married to one and he's obviously never been around enough of them to know how strong, how beautiful, how independent they could be, while also being supportive. How much black women have done to create this entire world that we all live in, and the way that they've poured in it. I'd rather be upset, but I know if I'm upset and I'm loud, that just plays into the same angry black woman trope, to the black man trope that he wants us to depict, and I refuse to give him that joy. This issue divided a lot of people. Some people thought Ryan like, it's a joke bro, others thought cook him Ryan, he don't respect us. So Ryan actually created a caption to go along with this video, and here's what the caption says. The caption says, I'm not sure what black women experience Andrew Schulz has had, but it hasn't been the real black girlfriend effect. The insult black women and described them as complainers and abusive isn't just untrue, is disrespectful, even worse. James Duncan and Fwahadawadu, the __, and gig dudes allowing him to say it is more insulting, so he's saying that these dudes laughing at the joke is crazy. Andrew Schulz spoke that way in front of two black men because they allowed him to. They made him comfortable enough to disrespect black women because they didn't force him to respect them. My experience is that black women are powerful, beautiful, strong, and supportive. The prioritizing black family, community, and culture, they take steps back to push their men. You get the gist. Okay, Brian Clark loved black women and he thinks that Andrew Schulz was a big mean racist who was disrespecting black women because, you know, two black men allowed him to. Now Andrew Schulz was recently on Shannon Sharpe where he responded back to Ryan Clark. Not really respond, like he seemed more annoyed than upset at Ryan Clark. And here's what Andrew chose to say. Ryan Clark took a break from posting pictures of his outfits on Instagram to do a whole "why you on RC man bro, do you have a question?" I love his Instagram. The outfit posts are amazing, right? Like the group chat is always full of the like. We can't wait for the new Ryan Clark outfit drop. The second the new outfit where he's walking walking in the streets and the smoke is in the background and like an inspirational quote, you know what I mean, that's like, you need to have a conversation. Ryan's a good dude, man, no I know. Everybody tells me he's a good dude, but he did that and he like it just felt like it was all clout and he tried to make it this big thing and he's like by the end of it he's like he's one of these guys that like wants to say the N-word but doesn't, and I was like, what is going on, like what are we even talking about, right? The story is about those guys who insulted the black women, right? And laughing at that joke, and then he kind of reframed it and then made it about me, and I actually, this is the thing that's annoying about Ryan, is like, I actually think that he's like he's good. I think he's like good at what he does, but I just thought that that was like really corny, right? And it felt like it was just, I'm going to sandbag this dude for clout. Here's an opportunity for me to look virtuous and I'm going to not even reach out to him. You can reach out to me. You've asked me to be on your show. Y'all have asked me to come on the show. So you have the ability to ask me the context of things. Oh, okay, I appreciate his outfits more. You know what I mean, you know this, just I'm comfortable that one's more baggy than usual. I feel like you on the OM, bro. I feel like you lost. I feel like from the start of this interview you lost. Wait, the bracelets falling off stuff is happening. Ozek, yeah, what's up with Ozek? I think Ryan Clark made a bigger deal than what it really was, but when you look into the magnitude of what was going on, it was a really big story. Like everybody was talking about it, meaning like bro, this thing made like Fox News though, like they were really getting canceled. The comedians, not Andrew Schulz, cause you can't really cancel Andrew Schulz, right? Kendrick Lamar even dissed Andrew Schulz because of that particular moment. So Ryan Clark speaking on it isn't really, you know, a reach to me because it was a really big story. I feel like where the reach sort of came in is Ryan Clark calling an emergency podcast, not letting any one of his co-hosts speak, and him going on like a 20-minute tangent about Andrew Schulz, pretty much saying everything but you're racist, right? But alluding to the fact, right, even calling for Charlemagne and God to have a conversation with Andrew's show. So Ryan Clark seen this interview and he reached out, and him and Andrew's show sat down and had a conversation. Now the first mistake that Ryan Clark made during this conversation was when Andrew Shows asked him, when you watch what I said, did you think that I was a racist, or did you think that I think that black women are really combative? Have you dated black women before? Sure. And in your dating black women, did black women beat you? No. Ryan, I think you're missing the point here. Like, do you think that's what I think of black women? Maybe we should start there. No, Ryan Clark knows he messed up with that response because he then immediately tries to fix it. But when he asks you, do you think that I really think that black women is this? Do you think I'm really insensitive or a racist? Do you think that I don't know that black women are not complainers? And when you are right, or when you say, no, I don't think that you're racist, no, I don't think that you really think this, well then you call it an emergency podcast to do a 20 minutes on Andrew Schulz calling out people like Charlemagne God to sit down and chastise Andrew Schulz. When you do that and you don't even believe what you're talking about, that's the issue. Now Ryan Clark realizes that Andrew Schulz just got him, so then he tries to quickly fix it, but it was too late. Okay, so then here's the thing, yeah, I don't know so well. That's different than black women, right? I don't know, cause I don't know you. What I do know is in that moment in this small clip I saw of Andrew Schulz, this is what he said. Now let me tell you what I didn't say, right? Yes, I didn't say Andrew Schulz thinks that all black women are angry. I didn't say Andrew Schulz thinks that black women are abusive. I didn't say that Andrew Schulz is a racist. That's like me saying it's yellow, it got a beak, it quacks. I ain't say it was a duck, homie. So it feels like Ryan Clark is sort of like backpedaling a lot because now he's in front of Andrew Schulz, and I feel like he wants to protect the relationship, which is why he was so adamant about, yo, let's sit down, because he wants to be friends with Andrew Schulz, right? He wants to protect and, you know, and keep that bridge open. But then Andrew Schulz hit Ryan Clark with probably the most damaging part of this interview, where he really put Ryan Clark in a gotcha situation. All right, and it was kind of hard to watch Ryan Clark stumble and fumble his way through it, because essentially Andrew Schulz put him in a no-win situation. Like, I'll tell you what you want to know what my initial reaction is, which I think is kind of unfair, but my initial reaction was when I saw you guys talking about it, and I was like, okay, he wants to protect Protect black women, and this is very important. And then I looked on every one of the episodes that you had to see if there was any guys on here that beat up black women and there weren't. I looked to see if you guys addressed it on the pod, and you didn't. Nah, Andrew. You cold for this one, Andrew. Nah, you a cold boy for this one. Andrew Ryan Clark is having this conversation thinking it's a good faith conversation, thinking they building and getting somewhere, man. Andrew Schulz, bro, had that go fish, had that wild card in his back pocket, man, getting ready to use it. Ryan Clark not even knowing he walking into a trap. Now look at Ryan Clark panicking. Okay, now I also saw you guys had the episode with DeAndre's mom talking about domestic violence, so I was like, okay, this is good and this is powerful, this is important. But my knee-jerk reaction was, man, I get a whole section that's not even part of an episode. And and these guys who we know have actually like for like a joke, and these guys who have actually like hurt black women and convicted not allegations, because I don't go off of allegations, I go off conviction. Everybody can get an allegation, it means nothing, and then these guys, they don't get anything. So in that moment I was like, this feels like a clout play. It doesn't feel like the highest priority is protecting these women. This man is good, bro, cause now you are faced with the choice of saying, I made a mistake, I was wrong, alright. Now Andrew shows essentially now got you by the balls now, bro, because he's right. You did a 20-minute video talking about protect black women, but then you had men on who have literally beaten and brutalized black women, and you never asked him about it. Y'all chuckled, y'all laughed, y'all had a good old boys moment throughout the entire podcast. So you can say that you rushed to that mic because your biggest priority is to protect black women, and that's why you responded back to Andrew Schulz. But you interviewed men who brutalize black women and you didn't ask them about it, right? So in the show's just exposed Ryan Clark right here as an absolute hypocrite. There's nothing Ryan Clark can say to save himself in this conversation. Ryan Clark tries though, but his explanation to me made it even worse. That was my initial reaction, so I'm going to say this. Yeah, we have had people on this show that have been convicted for domestic violence that have pulled it out of the show, that have pulled it out of that I have asked about it. Oh, and then they're like, I don't want it on the show. Yeah, and I do, because people come on our show voluntarily. I do ask those questions in respectful ways, right? I'm not, hey man, you're a woman beater. But I will say, like in one of the instances that was pulled, I said, look, you were convicted of something that no man wants attached to his date. Amen. And they answered it. We talked to their people. I was like, man, the answer was good. Like, and they pulled it out of the show. So we've had that happen. We also had an instance with one of our guests who was talking about sexual assault, and he talked about it in a way that almost said that, okay, how do we blame the women? And I addressed that as well. So as far as for me, I try to address it in every opportunity, right, that I get a chance to. With them, I try to ask them questions in ways that they get to tell their side of the story. When they sit with us, I do not bash them over the head with it, condemn them, or judge them in the moment. Yeah, I do try to have a conversation about it. To me, that makes it even worse to me. Right, if you're saying your number one priority is to protect black women, and this is on your absolute peak of your hierarchy, then if you have men in your building who you just had a conversation with, laughing and kiking and having a conversation with on camera, a good old boy time, and you mean to tell me that protecting black women is something that you deeply care about so much that you came on a Sunday to address Andrew Schulz, but after the conversation, after addressing it, after asking those men about what they did to those black women, those men told you to remove that segment holding them accountable for what they did to black women, and you took it out because you care about protecting their relationship with those men more than you care about protecting black women. Andrew shows essentially just exposed Ryan Clark that this entire thing was a clout move. This entire thing of going on air spewing for 20 minutes, going off about protect black women, about how it's your job and your duty, blah, blah, but you care about protecting relationships more with those men who actually brutalize black women than you cared about holding them accountable for brutalizing black women. Hey bro, yo, Andrew Schulz, masterful job, man, masterful job. Okay, y'all let me know in the comments section, what do you guys think about this? Okay, did Andrew Schulz get the best of Ryan Clark in his conversation, or do you guys understand where Ryan Clark is coming from? Let me know, and if you're still watching, click on this video right here to find out why this Woman was arrested for a role in the death of Atlanta rapper Young Scooter. Click on this video right here to find out exactly the very evil reason why she was arrested and what her role was. You don't want to miss this video, bro, it's crazy.